Hey, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and my project today is a really quick, really fast, super easy card. It's a congratulations and birthday card that has a more masculine feeling. And I based the design off of the card on the left that you see there, which is much more feminine looking, I guess, a little brighter. I used that as the example for diagonal lines in my Elements of Design for Card Makers class that's on Big Picture Classes. And I decided to adapt it and basically change the color palette more than anything else in order to make it a much more masculine feeling card. So to start off with, I have a strip of rich black paper and some white paper, and I'm going to stamp two of the sentiments from the Elizabeth Craft Designs General Sentiments stamp set onto them. I'm going to stamp Congrats onto the black, and I will be heat embossing that in silver. I'm using Versamark ink to emboss it. And then on the white strip, I am going to stamp Happy Birthday and emboss that in gold, because this card was for a graduation party that was also a birthday party, so it needed to function for two reasons. But you could easily just have one greeting. I would say put the greeting on the white, which will become a banner, and then you could just leave the black empty and adapt it that way if you need it for just Happy Birthday or just congratulations, if you want to redo the card. And these are my elements, and as you can see, they are all what I consider to be neutral. So I've got the black card base. I have a patterned piece of paper from the Cardabella Christmas Delivery 6x6 paper pack, which is basically black with small white dots on it. Then I have the big gold star that I have die cut out using the Memory Box Plush Celestial Star die. Sorry. There are my banners that I've cut into, I have greetings that I cut into with little banner tails, and I added a gold one too. And then I have punched some small stars out of white, gold, and silver paper, and then I have some gold and silver sequins. And so basically the key to changing or adapting a card to make it more masculine is, especially if you don't have flowers on it. Like if you have flowers on it, it's going to be pretty tough to make it masculine. But for other designs, by changing the color palette, you can easily change it from feeling feminine to masculine. And so by going to all neutrals here, which black and white goes with everything, and in my opinion, metallics go with everything as well. And so I think of those as being neutrals, because neutrals go with everything. So if you are stumped for how to come up with a good masculine card and you just don't know where to start, I would say start with some neutral colors. Black is a great starting point, as is navy blue, if you don't want to go as harsh as black. But this is a very simple card. There aren't a whole lot of different elements happening. It's really just stars and circles with these little banners thrown in. And what's helping keep that interesting are the different sort of textures. We've got the really shiny gold as well as the matte black, and then the sort of dotted texture of the pattern paper. It's a visual texture, but it's a texture nonetheless. And then the changes in size on the stars in particular, but also on the circular sequins, is also providing a lot of visual interest. So we've got the really huge star, and then the smaller stars that are from the punch, and then the sequins themselves are also two different sizes to add some visual interest. And then I'm going to add these tiny little star sequins to add another layer of size to this card to again provide some more visual interest. And I think the shininess of everything is also what's helping to keep the card from seeming somber, given that it's a fairly dark color palette. It still feels like a party card just because of the shininess of the gold and the silver. And then I think the star shape is also fairly celebratory as well, and it's keeping it kind of fun and upbeat and not too dark. So those are a couple things you can think about if you're trying to adapt a card from like feminine to masculine. Like maybe you want to change the colors, but you also might want to think about changing your shapes. Like if you go from, soft curves to more angular stars or something to create a more gender neutral or masculine feel. So hopefully I've given you a few little tips today on how to create a fun and easy masculine congratulatory card. As always, there is a supply list linked in the video description below and over on my blog. Just wanted to mention really briefly that if you are tempted by anything in the video, I always appreciate it if you will use the links to supplies on my blog, as that provides me with a tiny commission on anything you purchase, and it does help support me and my video making efforts, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. But aside from that, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I would love it even more if you haven't already, if you would subscribe to my channel. Here are 2 more videos that I have done on masculine cards. These are much more about how I made the card as opposed to tips on ways to adapt a card the way this one was, so please click on either one of those if you are interested. Thanks so much and have a fantastic day.